Jong. Pedrick with Baldi high up on the left. Kessier and Lewandowski into the penalty area. Nicely done by Baldi, and the cross was perfect for Kessier, but again he couldn't apply the finishing touch. Well, Baldi is competing with Dembélé for Sergio Roberto for man of the first half. He's
yeah, and obviously the Marcos is just showing him inside. Well, okay, show me inside. I get past you with ease really, and then he looks for Kessier. Great run from the youngster. Obviously, he's winning the battle against Nico Williams, which is not easy, and on the ball as well. Great first start.
Well, they're a shadow of the side that started the season so well, Athletic Club.
You saw Valverde there, he just told his players, no la sacamos, we can't get the ball out.
Dembélé, play in Sergio Roberto, intercepted, but Koundé comes across and puts the ball out for an Athletic throw. Easily from Bellingham is Uriah. Williams this time he does manage to provide the cross, but Eric Garcia gets in front of Bellingham and puts the ball out for an Athletic throw.
Well, his first opportunity after 39 minutes to take on Balde. The cross comes in, but Eric was focused and was able to clear the ball. I think it was just the first opportunity for Nico to go on a 1v1 situation. 39 minutes. Not good news for Athletic.
No. Ball goes back out to Nico, and he goes past Baldi again. Does he know? Eric Garcia steps in.
Eric's foot's off. Or Nico stamped on him.
Foul given against Nico Williams, who may or may not be a Spain teammate for Eric Garcia in the World Cup. Certainly did well on his debut. He's Koundé. Runs into trouble. Tarraga. Nico Williams. Iñaki Williams with a shot. Deflected. Koundé sends it back to Ter Stegen. And he plays it out to Pedri.
Remember Koundé's runs with the ball as a Sevilla player? You know, he was having himself there and he tried one, but you know, we probably had to wait to see another run from Koundé at the Camp Nou at least.
Well, there was a sight to behold at Sevilla. Koundé on the attack. Here's Balde. Jong. Jong again back to Busquets. Dembélé away from Bellingham and away from Yuri. This is a great run from Dembélé. And you thought for a minute there he was going to finish it with a left-footed shot. In the end, the block arrived, but once again going past two players down this near side, Dembélé.
It couldn't be the last one. I think it was Dani Garcia, but you know how easily just flicks the ball over Bellingham, gets past him with ease. Then Yuri obviously back in the starting lineup after a while.
Well, I know some Athletic supporters have been waiting and waiting for the return of Yuri Lekwe. They see as a makeshift option, but it's not been a happy return for him tonight so far. Here's Di Marcos. Williams gets on his bike. Will the ball be played early? It will, but he's not going to get on the end of that.
He's quick, but not that quick.
No.
And he's desperate because, you know, Athletic Club so far they've been a team that are able to play the ball, be patient, but tonight, because they haven't touched the ball really. When they have it, they kind of rush decisions. It's difficult, obviously, 3-0 down. You know, they can't wait for the half time to come. And just think about what they've done in the first half, regroup and try to, you know, improve things in the second half, but so far Barcelona have been so dominant. There's no game.
Roberto's ball behind Kessier. You're right, does well. Forward to Iñaki Williams. Another hopeful ball that no one is going to get on the end of. Lewandowski lays it up to Kessier. It's closed down by Dimarcos. Pedri. Forward from Dani Garcia. Nico up against Balde.
Corner.
Makes the clearance, but it is a corner for Football Club for Athletic Club. Well, they need to make the most of this, Athletic Club. In open play, they're not creating anything. Can they do something from a set piece? In comes the corner. It's headed away by Busquets. Carraga gets his head to it first on the edge of the area.
Now the referee stopping, but you know, I'm sure Athletic Club before the game said we don't give the ball back, or we don't take the ball out if someone goes down, because they did it earlier when Gavi went down. They're playing. I think it's Geray stepping on his hand.
Away from Geray. Forward towards Lewandowski. Holds it up and gives it to Pedri. The jump back to Busquets.
Valde hasn't put a foot wrong in the first half. Great performance.
5 minutes about time.
5 minutes more of first half misery for Athletic Club. Here's Koundé back to Eric Garcia. 3 goals inside the opening 22 minutes, and no response as of yet from Athletic Club. Eric Garcia trying to get Dembele away. It's one back by Yuri, but straight to Kessier. Back to Sergi Roberto. To Pedri. Basically lays it off to Dimarcos. Out to Nico. Let's go back to Inigo Martinez. He's got Berenguer ahead of him. In the end, it was Iñaki Williams that finds Berenguer. Back to Yuri. Berenguer being followed out by Jules Koundé. Plays the ball back to Inigo Martinez.
And off the ball for Busquets to have the young next to him is huge as well. Sometimes we've seen them nowadays, he gets exposed, just playing on his own as a holding midfielder. Look at him now, he's even able to be the number 10 of the occasion. And the young's energy gives him a lot, not only on the ball but also off the ball.
Well, it was thought to be a possibility in the Clásico, wasn't it, that Xavi would go with 4 midfielders. In the end, he didn't do that, and as you say, Busquets was exposed.
they had, I think, that obviously Madrid's midfield is there's quality, of course, but there's also muscle. I think that Tchouaméni and Kroos especially dominated, plus the quality of Luka Modric, but Valverde was the one making the difference.
Loose pass there from Busquets. What can Athletic do here? It's Bellinger, and comfortable for Marc-Andre ter Stegen. Mark goes down as a chance.
First bad pass of the game, but you can see he was surrounded by 3-4 Barca players. Bellinger.
So sticking with the clearance up to Lewandowski. Danny Garcia, but it was well intercepted by Kessié. Back to Pedri, forward to Sergi Busquets. Fresca brings it out for Athletic Club.
And fans want more, because you can see that earlier when Kessié had the chance to play forward and he didn't, the fans weren't too happy, and now Busquets nearly found Lewandowski.
Marcos. Well, it probably doesn't rank quite as high as that away game against Roma or the one at Anfield, but it's going to be up there with his worst nights as a manager if the second half is anything like the first. 3-0 down here at Athletic Club.
Well, at least he's had time to think about what he's going to say at half-time to Ernesto Valverde.
Nico Williams gets away from Dembélé. Nico Williams with the cross, it's headed away by Pedri. So there goes the end of the first half, the whistle from the referee. Dembélé on 12 minutes, Sergio Roberto on 18 minutes, and Robert Lewandowski on 22 minutes. Barcelona completely dominant. Athletic not in this at the moment. Can they turn it around in the second half? Join myself, Andrea and Jamie to find out. Half time here at the Spotify Camp Nou. It's Barcelona 3, Athletic Club 0.
Microsoft helps bring new metrics to La Liga. Go deeper into the action to analyze and enjoy more of the game you love with Beyond Stats. It's your game.
How do you do that? You listen. Hey! Hey! Whoa! Hey, 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 hey! Hey!
3-0 Sunday night football has been a party for the Catalans in the first half. 3 very good goals. They were 3-0 up at half-time against Villarreal in midweek. They went on to win that game comfortably. And at the break, it looks like another victory for the Blaugrana. Tony Padilla alongside me in the studio watching this game. Tony, as we said, against Villarreal, they were 3-0 up at half-time, scoring all the goals in the opening 45 minutes. This has been another really good first-half performance from Barca.
The same destiny for Athletic Club una Emery's Villarreal. What a way to be back in the Camp Nou Stadium. Here it is. Ernesto Valverde, welcome to for Xavi Hernandez. And then it's all about Barca. What a brilliant first half, especially of this man, Ousmane Dembélé, involved in all the actions. He tried to score here, but follow the action is Robert Lewandowski who controls the ball. He delivers the cross and look at the header of the Frenchman. Normally, it's Ousmane Dembélé with the cross,
yes,
and Robert Lewandowski scoring thanks to a header.
Yes.
But they changed the destiny of the
the other way around. And listen, if Ousmane Dembélé adds brilliant heading ability to his attacking weaponry, then he's going to be an even more dangerous player. Don't remember him scoring too many headers, if any, really, for Barcelona. But that is, it's a brilliant header. It's a centre-forward header, and he rises above the defender and opens the scoring. As you said, Ousmane Dembélé really, really active in his first half for Barcelona, involved in all the goals actions. And a lot of the action came down this right-hand side. Here he is passing to Sergio Roberto, drives into the box, slight deflection and a goal.
On the best day of Oliver Chiche and Alex Berenguer defending here, trying to stop Sergio Roberto, playing as a right-back, a connection with Ousmane Dembélé. Ousmane Dembélé returns the ball to the Catalan right-back, and it's true that it's a deflection, but a brilliant performance again of Sergio Roberto. Some months ago, everyone expected Sergio Roberto to be elsewhere and not playing anymore for Barca. Now he's playing every single week and doing it in a style. It's the second goal in 5 minutes of Barca, but the Catalan side wanted more, and all bad news for Athletic Club because they also lose Ander Herrera out injured. That it means that Dani Garcia came in.
Yes, Ander Herrera having to go off midway through that first half. There he is again. Ousmane Dembélé, told you he's been busy in this first half. Lovely ball here to Lewandowski, who still had a lot to do. But I think he's making this his trademark, isn't he? He scored a similar goal against Villarreal. That spin in the box and the powerful finish, it's wonderful to watch.
If most of the people that are watching us try to do exactly the same, they will falling to the ground, including myself. But it's incredible the ability of Robert Lewandowski to turn football into something more beautiful than that. A piece of art. Assist of Ousmane Dembélé, but it's for what Robert done. Winning all the actions, and 3-0 at 23 for the in Catalan side.
12 league goals this season for Robert Lewandowski. More than what scored last season. Gerard Moreno scored last season. João Felix scored last season. Lots of good strikers. The whole of the previous campaign didn't manage to get 12 league goals. This is what happened to Gavi. A really, really strong collision there. He had to go off. He was okay to walk off. We thought we might see him on a stretcher, but no, he's grimacing. If you're 3-0 up, you can take a player off.
In fact, he tried to insist and keep playing, and he couldn't do it because he felt a lot of pain when he clashed against Dani Garcia. And then for Athletic Club, more nightmares. What a play of Alejandro Valde, today playing as a left back, not Jordi Alba as he done against Villarreal. And a really, really good performance of the teenager player of Barca.
He does look like, if not a veteran, Valde, but certainly who looks very much at home in this first team, and he has made that left-back berth. Not necessarily his own, there is competition for places there with Jordi Alba and Marcos Alonso, but Valde certainly doing well in this first team. That's about it in terms of Ter Stegen and the work he's had to do in the first half. It's been really comfortable for Barcelona. Here are the half-time statistics just to back up what we were saying. As you would expect, 70% possession for Barcelona. Only 5 shots, perhaps expected a little bit more. 4 of them have been on target and 3 have ended up in the back of the net. Look at the number of passes as well. Many, many more for Barcelona, and the completion rate is extremely high as well. So that's what's happened in the first half, the 45 minutes of Barcelona against Athletic Club. It's going very, very well for the Catalans. Can Athletic Club find a way back into it? We'll find out in the second half, which is coming up live for you after the break.
100% welcome bonus on 22bet.
Proudly brought to you by Guinness, Life Science Brightest, and Betway.
I bet I can. I bet I win. Bet to play, bet to win on 22bet. I bet I can. I bet I win. Bet to play, bet to win on 22bet.
100% welcome bonus on 22bet.
Doing his job was thorough and very Busquets that was it. The midfield is something was having Herrera for a while, but the game was already lost by then. And Herrera not having great time in the opening 20 minutes. So everything to do for Athletic Club. I expect a reaction from those Leones and for Barcelona. Obviously, it's like I'm sure that Xavi said, we nil guys. Let's play and let's start the second half in the opening 45 minutes.
Well, we saw Ansu Fati warming up there at half-time. Ansu Fati, of course, who was given his debut by Ernesto Valverde. Maybe he'll be one of those who plays some part in the second half. The other Barcelona substitutes, Rafinha, Pablo Torre, yet to get any minutes this season. We've already seen Jordi Alba and Gerard Piqué on the bench. Ferran Torres there as well. Marcos Alonso did so well as a centre-back in midweek against Villarreal. And of course, Kessié, who's already on because the only dark cloud in the first half was that injury to Gavi. Athletic also had to make a change in the first half, or decided to make a change, I should say, with Danny Garcia coming on in midfield for them. Also among their substitutes, Iker Morayen and Sancet are both starting their first game of the season on the bench. They've been ever present previous to this match. So let's see what Valverde does in the second half. And if Xavi uses this as an opportunity maybe to rest players, it's going to be interesting midweek, isn't it? Because of course Bayern Munich is a massive game, but it could also be a massive non-event there, if previously into...
And probably will be. I mean, I'm not expecting Victoria Pilsen to take anything from the game against Inter Milan. But it's going to be important anyway because Bayern, have created a lot of problems recently to Barca. To their morale and obviously mentally, that game is going to be crucial for the rest of the season. It's sure there's going to be a World Cup coming soon. But everyone will remember, the day where Barca were able to beat Bayern, if they do, on Wednesday. So it's a very important game, regardless of what's going to happen, in the Champions League future for the Catalan Giants.
Keep the momentum going. They're on a roll, Barcelona. 6-0 aggregate since the Clasico, and we've still got 45 minutes left to play here. And Robert Lewandowski, who just cannot stop scoring. The only but in terms of his goals so far this season maybe has been against the better rivals, but he's on the score sheet again tonight, and also that cross for Dembele's opening goal.
But he scored twice against Inter, didn't he?
He did. Had he not scored, it would already be all over. So, how quickly things change. Ernesto Valverde praised for the way that Athletic started the season, and everyone agreeing that he's taken them on that little bit further. This foundation laid last season by Marcelino, but if they don't turn this around tonight, then it will be 4 games without a win for them. So we're back underway. Mirai's long ball forward. Set it clear by Koundé. They win it back though, Athletic Club. And no changes at the break, Jenny.
No substitutions for Barcelona, no substitutions for Athletic Club. Every single citizen was warming up on the pitch. Only Gerard Piqué and Jordi Alba didn't appear here, and Morcillo had a problem when he was warming up in that area that Andrea, you and me know we hurt a lot.
Victor Williams is running behind here, and the cross straight to Marc-Andre ter Stegen.
Well, this is a better start for
to warm up. Here on the sideline for Barcelona, Ansu Fati, Marcos Alonso and Ferran Torres.
I was going to say, that's a better start at least for Athletic Club, playing on the opposite half. With Kessié, obviously Barca need to play differently. Gavi can play as a number 10, let's say. With Kessié, we can see that it's more as a 3, with De Jong playing slightly forward, Busquets holding, and Kessié on the right. Pedri keeping space on the left, Dembele right, and Lewandowski through the middle. So Xavi had to adapt really to his players, because he's not a number 10. He can arrive, he times just runs well into the box, but he's not able to interpret the football as Gavi does.
Well, it's an important second half maybe for Kessié. We still haven't quite seen the best of him yet. He's off the mark in terms of goals in the Champions League, not so in La Liga. Pedri. There's the foul. Barcelona supporters maybe still not quite sure what it is Kessié is going to bring to the team.
It's a completely different player, if you compare it to the other midfielders who are very comfortable on the ball. He's good on the ball, a lot better than what it might look like. I remember at AC Milan he used to be the penalty taker ahead of Ibrahimovic, for example. So very calm and composed, but he's a physical player, someone who needs space to run. So going back to the theme about Frenkie de Jong and the positional game of Barcelona, it's not for him, not yet, so he needs to learn the way Barca play. But obviously he will bring muscle to that midfield that Barca lacks, and obviously goals, because he's someone who arrives and times just runs perfectly into the box.
Well, he got 6 last season in Serie A for Milan.
There's 2 Athletic Club players warming up too here on the sideline, Raúl García and Ollán Salcet. Before today, they had started every single game this season in La Liga.
Well, Garcia was on the score sheet in midweek in that draw with Getafe. Yuri. By Valde, flicked on by Busquets. One back by Yuri, he's found Ferraga. One to Bellinguer. Zaraga. It's away from Busquets. Here's Oscar de Marcos. Finds Williams, he lays it off to Zaraga, but it's won back by Frankie de Jong. Busquets, de Jong into Kessier, out to Dembélé. Kessier continues his run. Dembélé gets it back.
Dembélé, who was unstoppable in the first half, this time just, gave the pass to Kessier's run. We didn't really know about it.
Dembélé with the cross, he picks out Pedri. Pedri tries to pick out Balde.
I think it was the game against Elche. The goal from Lewandowski came exactly like this. Dembélé to Pedri, Pedri to the run of Balde, and Balde with the assist for Lewandowski. So that's something that they've been training on.
Simon puts the ball straight out of play. Here's Frankie de Jong. De Jong away from Zaraga into Kessier. Sergio Roberto back to Frank Kessier.
Still finding his position, but obviously just not easy. You can see that in tight spaces it's not too comfortable comparing to the other Barca midfielders, but it can be very useful this year for Barcelona.
John gets that back from Balde. He's got Pedri to his left. He goes right instead to Dembélé. Dembélé's got Sergio Roberto in support. Sergio Roberto overhits his cross.
I was at the stadium the other day against Villarreal, and you could see how Sergio Roberto, Ferran Torres, they were desperate to find Lewandowski, and Lewandowski was encouraging them to put the right ball in. And I think that this just happened now. Sergio Roberto kind of rushing. I need to find, Robert in the box, and he overhit that cross because they need to use him more. I mean, look at the goals he's already scored, but if they find him in the box, I mean, in the air he's shown how good he is. So there's still more to come from Lewandowski if he gets the right service. And you could see there how Sergio Roberto, wanted to find the big man.
Well, this is not something that we see too often. Iñaki Williams looks like he's got a physical problem, hobbling at the moment.
But
He
Iñaki
was
Williams,
protesting towards Martinez Munuera. He understood Eric Garcia stood on him.
he's a superhuman, because how many games has he played in a row?
Well, John Aspiasu, Valverde's number 2, described him as the Iron Man before the game. There was a slight doubt, wasn't there, after the Getafe game, because he looked to pick up an injury. I think we're now on 243 straight matches.
The game against Cadiz,
being involved in.
it was taken off, with a knee injury, and he played the next one. And against Getafe it was a muscle injury, and he's starting tonight.
Sergio Roberto does well there. He's in here. Will he finish, or will he try and give it to somebody? He tries to give it to Pedri off the post. And Athletic can clear their lines.
So unselfish for Sergio Roberto.
Ball over the top as well. Sends Nico clear. Out comes Ter Stegen. Throw into Athletic.
Lewandowski was pulling away from the defender, but he was good defending from Athletic Club. And Sergio Roberto saw the run of Pedri. Eventually the ball ricocheted. Look at him, he sees Pedri. Dani Garcia with the clearance and nearly finishes.
I think via a touch from Pedri onto the post, It didn't quite come out to Lewandowski. Here's Balde and the pressure from Iñaki Williams. Iñaki wins it back. Now with Dani Garcia, floated in towards Bellinguer. Ter Stegen bowls it out. Barcelona back on the attack, being urged forward by the Camp Nou's, who, as you said in the first half, want more. 3-0 won't do. They're so dominant, and they need to turn it into goals. Here's Dembélé away from Bellingham. Dembélé out to Sergio Roberto. Might come to Pedri. He helps it on towards Balde, trying to get away from Nico Williams. Still Balde. Stayed on his feet there. He could have gone down, but ball trickling through to Unai Simon.
Well, he's having a great game and he's loving it as well. So he gets past Nico with ease and tries to go through the legs of the Marcos. Look at him here. I mean, coaches are not too happy when your fullback tries to nutmeg with his back heel the opponent striker, but
well, no shortage of options this season for Xavi at left back with Jordi Alba, Marcos Alonso, and Balde. Two Spain internationals plus a massive prospect. Still. Just in fact just turned 19 years of age, Alexander Balde.
Xavi upset with his players, asking them to touch the ball quickly. Xavi also, like Barca fans you were saying, Pete Andrea, once more.
Well, free kick for Athletic Club. Still nothing for Ernesto Valverde to smile about. Can Bellingham change that?
but doesn't know what to do.
Floated in by Bellingham. Koundé heads away, and De Jong clears and will be thrown for Athletic.
He wasn't too confident before taking it. He was just looking up and what should I do? But again, that's the hardest, let's say, position for a free kick taker. Through the middle, not too close to have a shot on target, not too far to just put the ball high. So eventually it wasn't the greatest of balls, and Koundé could clear it.
Barcelona come away with it. It's Kessié, he's got Dembélé to his right, Lewandowski through the middle, Pedri joining. Dembélé with a run at Inigo Martinez, weaves his way infield. Dembélé tries to find Pedri slightly overhit. You can hear the groans from the Camp Nou. Back to Balde. Dembélé with a shot.
Left, right, he doesn't really mind, he's confident. He had a spectacular first half, spectacular 22 minutes. The first 22 minutes he was running the show, Ousmane Dembélé.
Well, 22 minutes was all it took for Barcelona to rack up a 3-0 lead. It's Frankie de Jong. Talking about the options at left back, Andrea, not so many options at right back, but Bellerin, when he comes back, and he is on the bench again today, and Sergio Roberto showing signs. He's still referred to as a midfield player being played out of position, but he's been played at right back now for so many seasons that...
Yeah, and he's always done well. I mean, you can't expect him to be the best right back in Europe because that's not his position, but you know, it gives the team something extra when they have the ball. The game against Inter Milan, for example, as we see, it's too long for the young. He was used to attract, Inter Milan, they defend really, really well. A line of 5, very well coached. So basically Roberto was the extra midfielder, and that forced one of the centre-backs to come out of position. Pedri, being the number 10, found spaces that didn't find at the game at San Siro. So Sergio Roberto gives you that. On the ball, he's really good. Obviously, we've seen him scoring today. He's quick enough to join the attack. Well, Bellerin is a great option to have. He had a fantastic season with Betis. Let's see how he does at Barca.
Well, here is Sergio Roberto once more. Dembélé, back to Sergio. Well, in the end, Yuri clears forward to Bellingham. Sergio Roberto is back in defensive mode to get in front of Bellingham and stop him progressing.
Bad news for Athletic Club. Dani Garcia, who had entered the pitch replacing Ander Herrera, has thrown himself on the floor. He will have to be substituted too, and Oyan Sanzet has been called.
Well, it goes from bad to worse. The sub needs to be substituted, and we're not even at the hour mark yet.
And Xavi called the three players that were warming up: Ferran Torres, Marcos Alonso and Ansu Fati.
Well, off goes Dani Garcia, and he looks in a bad way as well. Second player tonight we've seen in tears. So we're going to see Sanzet, who had started every game.
Valverde will take advantage of the situation because he wants to do two substitutions, and he will do those two substitutions. Oscar de Marcos will be also replaced by Íñigo Leque.
So Ernesto Valverde making the most of his second window, as it were.
It's sad to see a player crying after getting injured. Especially Dani Garcia hadn't been playing lately. Comes on for an injured player, actually Ander Herrera.
And also Dani Garcia, who started the season, as you said at the start of the game, he played so well last season, then he was out of the team, then he gets back into the team, and if he knows that this is one that's going to keep him out for what's left of this year's league club football, then you can understand the reaction. Cut out by Koundé. Busquets back to Eric Garcia. Busquets away from Ferran. Frankie de Jong. Kessié brought him down. No, the referee happy for play to continue. Pedri finds Balde. Sergi Roberto.
I don't know if Dembélé is going to be replaced, but he's played the first 15 minutes of the second half as someone who knew he was going to be replaced after 15 minutes.
Now he goes past Yuri, just to remind us that he can do that. Lewandowski can't quite get on the end of the cross. It comes out to Kessié. Kessié tried to give it to Lewandowski. They clear as far as Sanzet, but Barcelona win it back.
Maybe because he knows that he's getting replaced soon, but...
Well, the substitutions will take place now. Robert Lewandowski will be replaced by Ansu Fati. Jules Koundé will be replaced by Marcos Alonso. And Pedri will be replaced by Ferran Torres. Take a look at the ovation for these three players.
Well, another very satisfactory day in the office for Robert Lewandowski. Off he goes. He got the third goal tonight.
So maybe that's why Dembélé is taking it easy, because he knew he was going to be playing the whole game.
Certainly in the first period of the second half, he's not looked to go past his man, but then just as you pointed out, he flew past Yuri, and Lewandowski couldn't quite make the right contact with the cross.
Great for Xavi to be able to rest Lewandowski. 30 minutes of Ansu Fati with a chance to keep him pressing. He was really good against Villarreal. And Ferran was good as well, playing a different position. I think on the right is much more effective, Ferran Torres. This is where he played for Valencia. And basically convinced Man City to take him to the Premier League.
Yep, he convinced them very quickly as well. We hardly saw him establish himself at Valencia before he moved to play under Pep Guardiola, and of course was signed last January by Barcelona. Balde back to Eric Garcia.
More players warming up here. For Athletic Club, I see Unai Vencedor, Raúl García and Vivian. For Barcelona, I see Héctor Bellerín, Rafinha and Pablo Torre.
Barcelona back on the attack with Sergi Roberto. Might even see Pablo Torre for the first time this season. The ball goes Back to Kessier, here's Frankie de Jong.
Very good player, Pablo Torre. Obviously, difficult to find your place in a team like Barca. For the Spanish national team under 19, he was spectacular. For Racing Santander, he basically single-handedly took them back up to Segunda División, to La Liga Smartbank. Great player.
And where eventually do you see him fitting in?
He's a typical Barca attacking midfielder. You know, if you want to compare him to a Barca player, he's more similar to Pedri than Gavi. But obviously that's huge comparison. But you know, a great technician, right-footed, intelligent, smart. Not the tallest.
Well, we thought maybe he would go out on loan this season because he's not playing a lot of football at the moment. He's played one game for Barca B, but maybe about to get some minutes in this, or will get some minutes in this second half. Nico twisting and turning, but the cross straight at Marc-Andre ter Stegen. He bowls it out to Frankie de Jong, and here they go again, Barcelona. Ferran Torres through the middle, Dembele to the right. He finds Ansu Fati. And Ansu Fati over the top.
Well, if you give the ball to Ansu, you know
see it coming, couldn't you?
Yeah, the next run is completely useless because he's gonna take it himself, and this is Ansu. He gets the ball from De Jong. What a run! Majestic run from Frankie de Jong. Finds Ansu, and actually he was aiming for top corner, wasn't he? It was close.
Well, they have to handle him with care, Barcelona. And certainly in terms of the minutes he's had so far this season, they have done that. His record last season was more goals than starts, and it's the same this season. 2 goals and 1 start. It was 4 goals and 3 starts last season. But obviously that was because it was a season ruined by injury. The ball goes out to Nico Williams. Once more, pass was behind his teammate, and Barcelona win it back. Frankie de Jong into Busquets. So much space for Barcelona now as they come forward, with Athletic trying to commit themselves a little bit further forward. Dembele threads that through to Torres, and it's well saved by Ono Simon. It's not been completely cleared. It might come to Kessier.
I love how casual it is for Dembele. You know, to get past one player, he basically is on the floor. Pass through to Ferran Torres, and then the ball gets back to him, and it looks like he's not interested. Look how easily it looks for someone like Usman. Look at him now when the ball goes back to him. Oh.
And Valverde will make his last 2 substitutions. He just called Unai Vencedor and Raúl García.
Right with the clearance. Yuri. It's done by Iñaki Williams. Sunset to his right. Nico Williams has made a run as well. He's tried to find his brother, but it's cleared by Balde. Sunset used his hand.
First touch and a turn was great by Iñaki Williams. Obviously, asked him to play the ball through. That's not his game. Well defended by Balde. Yes, Sunset uses his arms to control the ball.
Sergio Roberto. Dembele gives it back to Sergio Roberto. It's intercepted by Inigo Martinez, but he gives it to Dembele. De Jong. Torres turns into space, and the cross almost reaches Kessier. Is cleared by Inigo Martinez.
Good movements from Ferran Torres, always running behind, asking for the ball, giving a chance to his teammates. He's desperate for minutes, you know, he's hungry.
Ansu Fati. Balde to Ansu Fati. Chance for him to run at leg way. Leg way sends it back to Unai Simon. Was that an example there, Andrea, of the fact that Ansu doesn't quite have the zip at the moment, or do you think that was just an isolated incident? Leg way got there first, nothing more?
I think that he keeps trying, Pete, but he's not quite the same player yet. You know, I don't know if it's the confidence. I don't know if it's just, you know, he's off the pace a little bit. But obviously, you know, the injuries he's had, they were tough to take, and he's gonna need time. That's why Xavi hasn't played him. You know, he's arguably the best Spanish attacker at the moment. Luis Enrique hasn't called him up for the national team, so there must be a reason. And he was really good against Villarreal, but you know, you can see there's something missing here.
Well, he's played his last cards, Jamie, and Estelle Valverde.
Yes, Ferraga has been replaced by Unai Vencedor and Iñaki Williams by Raúl García.
Here's Ansu once more.
But you said, you talked about the stats, more goals than starts. I mean, he's got goals in him. He's always had that.
Busquets threads it through almost for Ansu Fati. Will keep it in. Well, it says, has he kept it in play? He has kept it in play. He's got Balde in support. Marcos Alonso back to Balde. Sunset chance for Athletic to launch a rare attack here, but it's brought short by, or cut short, I should say, by Busquets, who earns the booking.
Another yellow card for Sergio Busquets. He's seen 4 already, but in one game he saw 2 as he was sent off. So 4th yellow card for Sergio Busquets. Next yellow card he sees, he will miss the next game.
Obviously, he had to stop Oyan something. Does touch the ball, but it is contact with Oyan. Xavi is not happy.
Xavi needs to be careful as well. He's on a yellow. Berenguer over the free kick then for Athletic Club. Floated in towards Sunset, and he doesn't get enough on it. He might not have got anything on it. It goes through to.
That was a great ball. Fantastic ball from Berenguer. Good run from Sancet, and he knows. You can see his reaction. That was a good chance for Athletic Club.
Alonso to Balde. Garcia under pressure from Raul Garcia, who was given the usual Camp Nou welcome. Plenty of whistles from him. Been a visiting player here down the years for various clubs. He's Frenkie de Jong. Sergio Roberto surging forward. The ball goes out to Ousmane Dembélé. And Dembélé finds Ferran Torres, and Torres scores the 4th. It's simple, it's effective, and it's wonderful to watch. Dembélé to Ferran Torres, and unstoppable again for Unai Simon. Barcelona extend their lead further, and Athletic really just can't wait for this to end.
That's his 3rd assist of the game, isn't it? But it looks so easy for him. It's like a training session for Ousmane Dembélé. It's great play from the back from Barcelona. The ball, you know, finds the right man in the right place. Dembélé, Sergio Roberto with the run, taking the player away. He looks up, he sees Ferran. He's been doing that since coming on. Runs in the box, always giving a chance to his teammates. It looks simple, but it isn't. Look, nutmegging Yuri as well.
And you could just see as well.
And then Ferran nutmegs Unai Simon. But it's a Barca show tonight. 4-0.
After he played. Sorry, Joby, go ahead.
No, I was going to say, you know what the reaction from Xavi Hernandez was after that goal? He turned around and he said, Paulo. So Pablo
Okay,
Torres
so
will
we're
be
going to see
doing his
Pablo
first
Torres.
minutes.
Magnificent. See a player make his debut for Barcelona. I was just going to say that after playing the pass, Dembele sort of leaned around the player in front of him, blocking his view just to see if Ferran Torres was able to finish the assist, and he was.
But it's great that Dembele, honestly, is playing the second half, looking after himself, basically, and he's still able to be, the difference.
Well, it's can we play you every week as far as Ousmane Dembele is concerned. He's enjoying himself out there, athletic on the attack. And an important interception. It was Bellinger popping out on the left, but Balde puts the ball out for a corner.
And with this assist from Ousmane Dembele, 5 assists already this season, so the player with more assists again for Barcelona this season, like he ended last season too.
King of the assists last season, I think it was 12 in the end. The complaint was that he only got 1 goal. He's putting that right this season as well. Ousmane Dembele. Some defending for Barcelona to do here. The corner is flicked on, but over the top from Raul Garcia. And the Barcelona supporters in good voice, Jamie.
Absolutely, singing all the chants, always start behind that goal where Unai Simon is defending now, and then the rest of the stadium follows them. By the way, 84,817 fans today here at the Spotify Camp Nou, back to those numbers that they have been achieving this season in Barcelona. Something has changed indeed.
Well, Xavi effect to a certain extent, because we saw it even last season as soon as he took over. The positivity around the club and reflected in the support was evident. Here's Busquets. Sergi Roberto. Another nonchalant cross, just a wave of the right foot, and almost picked out Ansu Fati.
Now he's got 2 players, really hungry, Ansu and Ferran running at his balls. I don't know if you see Dembele running.
And this, talking about Dembele, this is the ovation that the Spotify Camp Nou gives to the Frenchman. He will be the last player replaced. Pablo Torre making his debut at the Spotify Camp Nou.
He did it for the first time against Athletic Club last season, turning the whistles into applause, and we've heard only applause tonight for Ousmane Dembele, and on comes Pablo Torre, just 19 years old, and Barca fans can get 15 minutes of what he's going to bring to the club and to the team. Straight into the action. His corner is headed away by Raul Garcia, and here's Uribe.
Well, if people is curious about Pablo Torre, they can go on YouTube and look at his clips. His free kicks for Racing Santander were spectacular. So it's not a surprise that making his debut in La Liga, he comes on and takes the corner, because obviously the technique is fantastic.
First yellow card of the season for Eric Garcia for that challenge on Yellow.
Second yellow of the night for Barcelona, following Busquets' caution. Inigo Martinez. Rise under pressure from Pablo Torre. Sunset away from Kessier. Forward to Nico Williams. Ball comes out to Leque. Vencedor sends it back to Unai Simon. Beaten 4 times tonight, but not at fault for any of the goals. Yuri forward to Bellinger. Barca throw.
Now it's Ansu being the number 9 with Ferran playing on the right. This is where, you know, he can be very effective and useful for Barca. Ansu played as a number 9 in his early days. I think under Valverde he was used there sometimes. With Quique Setién as well. And Pablo Torre, you can see him, you know, being left winger, but not really. He's just giving Valde the space to go forward on the left.
Ferran Torres. And if he does make the World Cup, Ansu Fati, then that central position is arguably up for grabs for the national side as well. So,
yeah, obviously, you know, there are not too many games left, and you know, Xavi needs to play if Ansu wants to have a chance to go. I still think that Nico here.
well, he's maybe up against Nico in terms of a place in the squad. Kessie cleans up at the back, sends the ball back to Ter Stegen. And Ferran Torres has done himself a mischief there.
And the referee has given a free kick for Barcelona.
Again with the knee, that's
Knee
so,
at the back.
Yeah.
Tough evening for Yuri.
Yeah.
Having to deal with Dembélé in the first half, well, for most of the game, and now up against Ferran Torres. 10 minutes left. And it's been a Barcelona exhibition from start to finish. A strangely lacklustre performance from Athletic Club. They've been anything but lacklustre in the previous 10 games. Even on this run without a win, they should have won against Sevilla.
Yeah.
They were good against Atletico Madrid.
They were in the game against Atletico Madrid. Obviously, they weren't able to play their game, but you know, with the introduction of Raúl García, they had chances to equalize and get something out of it. Against Getafe, they could have won as well. But tonight, there was no game from the start. And for Barca, this is the response that everyone was looking for. You know, the result against Inter, nearly out of the Champions League, then the defeat at El Clásico, where I thought Real Madrid were much better than them. Villarreal and Athletic Club, you know, coming out of the Camp Nou, people was nervous, but the team have responded, you know, showing how good they are. They want to compete this league, they want to fight with Real Madrid for the title.
Well, they move back to just 3 points behind them with this result. Against Valencia next week, Barcelona. Sergio Busquets with the ball over the top. Ferran Torres running onto it. Unai Simon got there first.
See that Ferran sees Unai Simon coming and
Good
tries to
pass
avoid the
this from
contact.
Vesca. They might, well, that's a good tackle from Sergio Roberto. Now he's injured himself in the process.
Shoulder?
It's a shoulder again. I think there's been a problem for him before.
Well, he will need medical assistance, and he's on the floor crawling, obviously hurting a lot. It's his left shoulder, yes.
And he looks in real pain.
Yeah, it looks like the shoulder is out of its natural position. And once you injure your shoulder once, it's a terrible thing. It's a common thing, you know. You keep re-injuring it, and it's really, really sore. Obviously, you know, they just put it back into the position, which is very painful. We see it here. He goes down. The tackle is great. You can see that his left arm gets stuck.
And immediately the other arm goes up because he knows what he's done.
Yeah.
Well, concern on the Barcelona bench, Jamie.
Yes, Xavi Hernandez speaking with his brother, Oscar Hernandez. Now Alegre, the other assistant manager, talking with them too. But at the moment, everybody taking a look at what Sergio Roberto can do, and we'll see if he recovers from that huge pain he's in right now.
A couple of players there who are about to recover and come back and be available again for Xavi, Christensen and Memphis Depay.
Araujo as well. Stretcher is needed here.
See this goal from Ferran again.
The run is great. You know, a full pace to control the ball at that pace is very difficult. He sets himself perfectly up for the finish through the legs of Unai Simon. Everything was great. You know, first Barca started down the left in defense. The ball gets, you know, to the other side with Dembélé. The pass was great. Control finish. Fantastic football.
So Roberto will have to leave the pitch on that stretcher, and Garcia going to the sideline to speak with Xavi Hernandez. Xavi just gave him the instructions on how to end this game until the last minutes. We'll see what strategy they follow, but I saw like Eric Garcia speaking with Paulo Torre and with Frankie de Jong and with Frank Kessie now. So we'll see how they reorganize.
It's a 4-4-1. You can see that Eric Garcia talking, probably Kessie will be the right back now. Earlier, Villarreal went down to 10 men, and obviously they wanted to win the game, and they played, you know, not a 4-4-1, but a 4-3-2. And they eventually got the win against Almeria. But now, you know, the current thing for teams is when you go down to, you know, to 10, 4-4-1 is the system.
Well, that was a bumpy ride for Sergio Roberto. In real pain there, he tried to lay back as he was taken off, but it was impossible for him. And so Barca finished the game with 10 men, just 4 minutes left of normal time, and they're 4 up here against Athletic Club. The ball goes back to Uriah under pressure from Torre. Vesca plays it out to Yuri. Williams back to Leque, Uriah. Sanset trying to get away from Marcos Alonso, still has the ball. Sanset retrieved by Uriah. Inigo Martinez back out to Nico. Cross comes Pablo Torre. Leque with the cross. Headed away by Frankie de Jong and cleared by Ferran Torres.
You know, poor Pablo Torre that came on with 4-0. I think it was going to be an easy ride and a good debut for him, and now down to 10.
And some extra work to do. Long ball forward from Balde, looking for Ferran Torres, taken nicely on his chest. He's 2 against 3. He's got Ansu Fati for company. He finds Ansu Fati. There's a slip from Uriah. Uriah recovered well and makes the clearance.
Fantastic from Ferran. I think he did everything well. Even the timing of the pass was good, but the first touch from Ansu just led him into traffic. Nothing came out of it.
3 league games left for Barcelona after this one. I mentioned Valencia. They're then home to Almeria, and they finish before the break in Pamplona against Osasuna. And for Athletic Club, home to Villarreal, away to Girona, and then up against Valladolid. And they'll need to rebuild confidence after tonight. Ter Stegen makes a mistake. Is he going to be punished for it? Sanset pulls it back, and the shot is blocked on the line. It comes back out to Sanset, and Sanset's shot is cleared by Eric Garcia. Well, that just about caps Athletics' night. They can't even manage a late consolation gifted to them by Ter Stegen.
That's probably the only chance of the game for Athletic Club. In the 89th minute, but what was Ter Stegen doing? I don't know. Probably his first mistake of the season. We'll let him have one, you know, 4-0, but a very strange run from a German goalkeeper trying to get past the Athletic Club's striker.
Well, I suppose inevitable that a little bit of complacency.
It's Raul Garcia, yes.
Creeps in.
Yeah.
Raul Garcia wins it back. I think it was Vesca with the shot that was blocked. Ventidor. Cross comes in from Nico and gathered by Marc-Andre ter Stegen. We've got a minute left of normal time. Now Raul Garcia is down. Well, this changes everything in terms of the mood, doesn't it, Andre? You know the club well, and you know how mood is so important and how low things were coming out of the Clásico.
Yeah.
And then 7-0 in the next two games on aggregate. And there's optimism again, and people back believing if they had lost some faith in the project.
Yeah, absolutely, and the performance level as well, which is very important. You know, with Barca fans, it's important how you win, not only winning. And I think that it was very convincing as Villarreal. You know, the way the team pressed, it was very interesting. You know, made things really difficult for Villarreal and won the game comfortably. And tonight there's only been one team. You know, Barca back being confident, Lewandowski scoring again, and Dembélé running the show. So, you know, all good news for Xavi, who's been rotating the squad and getting the effect that he wanted after Clásico's defeat.
And a miserable return for that man there, Ernesto Valverde. 145 games he coached Football Club Barcelona for, 97 wins, just 16 defeats, 3 trophies as well in 2.5 seasons. But it couldn't really have gone much worse for him tonight. Here's Unai under pressure from Ansu Fati. The ball goes back to Unai Simon.
Now let's see what Xavi does with Rafinha, because I don't think Rafinha's been rested tonight. I just think that, you know, Ferran might be ahead of him as well. Ansu, obviously Dembélé. We've seen Pedri playing on the side, so.
And one of the conclusions, the chance here for Ansu Fati, lets it get away from him. One of the conclusions he seems to have drawn post-Clásico is that he's not going to play those two open attacking wingers. Well, let's see if he does it again this season, but certainly in the next two games he doesn't play.
Yeah, and basically you said open wingers. Against Real Madrid they weren't open. You know, they think the width that the team needed. Rafinha, you know, he actually created the only chance the Barca had, you know, the Lewandowski chance. But had a difficult game, and I think that, you know, when Ferran came on against Villarreal, he opened the pitch up for Barcelona and was effective as a right, and I think that the number one choice is going to be Dembélé. Let's see, it's a long season.
Well, there'll be many more twists and turns to come. So his first major bump in the road, Xavi. That failure to beat Inter and then the defeat to Real Madrid, but the next two games have certainly changed the complexion of the first half of Barcelona's season. As Andrea says, impressive performances and very comfortable wins. Now they're going to keep a clean sheet tonight as well. Well, Bellingham has a free kick. We're into the last minute of the 3 that have been added on. Comes the free kick and it's headed away. Finally puts out there to go. He's literally brilliant for Barca.
Yeah, absolutely. One-way traffic, wasn't it? Just Barca on the pitch tonight, and we didn't see Athletic Club at all. This man running the show. Usman Dembélé, 1 goal and 3 assists. I'm not sure that he's going to be the MVP award of the game. All the news for Barcelona. Xavi being able to rotate the squad. 2 very important wins, and they're back 3 points behind Real Madrid.
Well, my thanks to Andrea and also to Jamie Pitchside. It was very easy for Barcelona tonight. We didn't expect that to be. Dembélé scored on 12 minutes, Sergio Roberto on 18 minutes, Lewandowski on 22, and Dembélé again on 73. So It's finished here at the Camp Nou. Very convincing for Football Club Barcelona. Final score, Barcelona 4, Athletic 0.